This game is definitely worth waiting for. We're back at Becker for a Monday night edition of high school girls basketball. This game was originally going to take place in December, but inclement weather forced it to a February date, but that's all right. It will be a great tune-up for a pair of state tournament caliber teams. The Becker Bulldogs, coming off a big win over Benilde-St. Margaret's, host a Minnehaha Academy team at full strength. Greetings, everyone. I'm Mike Beaton. Here I am all by myself talking to myself. That's Chaos Theory. We were here on Saturday when Becker pulled off a big win over Benilde-St. Margaret's, and it came down to three-point shooting. That is one of their strengths. And in their signature wins this season, including Providence Academy, Benilde-St. Margaret's, Becker was able to light it up from the perimeter. I imagine they'll look to do that again against Minnehaha Academy. And they have a plethora of options at their disposal. Ayla Brown was hot from the floor in the first half, hit 5 3-pointers en route to a season-high 32 points. Maren Westin picked up the slack in the second half. Dani Nuest struggled, but she can always hit it from three-point range. And you also had some players coming off the bench, like Hannah Durkis chipping in. This Becker team, loaded, even though they don't have Alexis Rose, they still have a lot of players who can send in bombs from behind the arc. If they do that again, they will add another big win as they assert themselves as the favorite to win the Class 3A state championship. Minnehaha Academy, they've had some rough terrain this season. Injuries and illnesses have decimated their roster at various points in the year. They even had to reschedule a couple of games due to the flu bug. That isn't the case now, and Matt Pryor can finally exhale. Addi Mack remains a scoring phenomenon. 8 30-point games. She's coming off a 30-point performance over Pine City. Angel Hill is back and ready to contribute. Sine Hill, one of those X factors who can provide some scoring and rebounds. Amina Allen, another player who complements Addi. This Redhawks team, not as many known commodities perhaps as previous years when you had Mia Curtis and Talia Graham, Tana Gallo, and the like, but they made it to bronze, as you may know, last year in Class 2A, and if they can get a win over Becker, could establish themselves as a contender in that field. We'll have the starting lineups when we return. You're watching high school girls basketball. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James, toss shot, it goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Welcome back to the Doghouse. That is Becker High School. We were here just a couple days ago.
Number 1, Ava Cupido.
Becker with a statement win over Benilde-St. Margaret's 84-78. And they will look to add another signature win before they wrap things up against Mississippi 8 competition. This game originally scheduled for December, but we're happy to have it no matter what. Minnehaha Academy at 17-4, Becker at 19-3. And as we said, Addi Mack, the player to watch. And as the Becker starters are being introduced, not a whole lot has changed between that game and this one. When you look at the averages, Ayla Brown remains the leading scorer. She's averaging 18.2 points per game. Maren Westin, 14.7. Dani Nuest, 16.6. Hannah Durkis and Lauren Kroll are a couple of the players who have seen more time since Alexis Rose's injury. Here are the starters. Same 5 for the Becker Bulldogs, so it's Dani Nuest, Maren Westin, Ayla Brown, Evelyn Kreft, and Elizabeth McAdams. Minnehaha will start Ava Cupido, Angel Hill, who's back from a hand injury, Addi Mack, Sine Hill, and Anaya Rubin, the senior. With Minnehaha, point A, B, and C is Addi Mack. If you can contain her, which is something most opponents have had trouble doing, you have a chance. But like we said, Sine Hill, Amina Allen, Ava Cupido, Angel Hill not doing too shabby since her return, averaging 11 points per game. There are a few options on this Red Hawks team that can inflict some damage, and that will be key. Addi, 4th in the state in scoring, 8 30-point games, and as we noted, coming off a 30-point effort against Pine City, which was Minnehaha's most recent game. And they have a tough stretch to end the season as we're underway. Becker wins the tip. We'll talk a little more about that as the game moves along. But it's Becker with the first possession. This is Westin. Extra pass to Kreft for 2. Slightly larger student section tonight than Saturday. But as we said, this Becker community really gravitates around their basketball, girls basketball, with quite a history over the last several years. Rubin was blocked, and Becker with a chance to bring it up. Becker's schedule including the top 2 teams in the IMAC, the Minnehaha Academy Redhawks and Providence Academy Lions. They played Providence twice. Split that series. 3-ball, corner pocket, as Maren Westin recovered the dribble. A quick 5-0 start for Becker. Angel Hill out to Rubin. Ball was knocked away. Who touched it last? Minnehaha ball. Dan Baird feels otherwise. The longtime head coach for the Bulldogs. 4 state championship appearances, 1 gold medal, 1 silver medal. 2 silver medals, actually. Here's Cupido, the 8th grader. Sine Hill tried to go cross court. Ayla Brown with the interception. The handoff to Nuest for 3 is there. Matt Pryor will call a timeout. Dani Nuest unable to hit a 3-pointer in Saturday's game with Benilde-St. Margaret. She did finish with 10 points. But if she's knocking down threes early, that could be a good sign for the Bulldogs. Like we said, Minnehaha wrapping up the regular season with a tough slate of games. They get Como Park twice, Providence Academy to complete the conference series. Como Park, they had plans to play them anyway, but added a second date as both schools were looking to fill a slot, with St. Paul Academy canceling a game and Johnson canceling a game in Como's conference. And they'll end the regular season with a road trip all the way up to Crosby Ironton. We saw them earlier this season. Tori Orline, an amazing player, leading the state in points, rebounds, and assists. So Becker leads 8-0, but we saw them jump out to a big lead against Benilde-St. Margaret's, up by 17. Brown called for traveling, and the Red Knights were able to cut it within a possession. Becker made a few more clutch plays in the final stages to hang on for the win, which will give them the #1 spot In the 3A rankings, Addi Mack slips underneath and lays it in. We've seen her do that more than once since we first covered her as a 7th grader at Blake. Nuest, another 3, bullseye. Sine Hill. That's Angel Hill, I should say, and Cupido's fouled. I'm so used to calling Sine, we haven't seen a whole lot of Angel yet. But Ava Cupido turning into a solid player in her own right. We've mentioned this before. Won bronze for the Redhawks on a buzzer beater in last year's 2A state tournament, and then won the AAU state championship at her grade level with 43 hoops, now legacy hoops, and did so against the North Tartan Pipeline. Settles for a split there. So it's 11-3. Bulldogs over Redhawks. There's Hannah Durkis, Dani Nuest. The 3 is short. Someone might have gotten a piece of it. Cupido set up underneath, goes for the fadeaway, and can't lob it in. Fadeaways are never an easy shot. Ayla Brown touched 3. That did everything but go in. Addi Mack looking for a driving lane, doesn't see one. Rubin for 3. And Addi Mack wasn't established in time. Rubin has hit a few more 3-pointers as a senior this season, not known as a scorer. She averages about 5 a game, so she's getting a little better offensively this year, but sometimes those 3s don't work out. And Dani Nuest can attest to that again. 0 for 9 in Saturday's game, off to a much better start here. And the key to beating Becker, containing the 3. But even without Rose, they have a lot of weapons. Dead ball rebound to the Redhawks. 14:28 left in the first half. Cupido with the bounce pass. Rubin out at the high post. Addi Mack drains the 3. Rubin with the dime. Mack with her first 3-pointer. Dani Nuest says no 3. She was trying for the answer, came up short. Angel Hill lost the dribble. Becker with a chance to run. Nuest, the kick out. Westin thought about the 3, goes for the layup instead. Now it's Minnehaha with numbers. Addi Mack left alone. That's automatic. And now the Redhawks with a couple of plays going their way. Driving kick, 3-ball, short. And Sine Hill was bumped by Dani Nuest. Kreft will go back in for Becker. Madison Bass also coming in. Angel Hill into heavy traffic. Came up empty there. Westin, a no-look dish out to Bass. Becker will reset. Brown with a little pump fake, kicks out. And Becker will patiently bide their time here. Brown, the leaner. Becker will get another chance as Cupido couldn't hang on to the ball. A larger Becker contingent than Minnehaha, but it is a bit of a trek, about an hour northwest of the cities to get here. but we're always happy to do it. Westin lines up the three, swish. And that's why we enjoy coming up here. Addi Mack steps into a three of her own, and that rattled out. Becker leads 14-8. Brown hasn't hit a three yet, goes for the slash, and gets her first field goal. As much as they can shoot threes, Brown mentioned this as Mack tried the leaner against traffic. When those threes go down, it's not just the three-pointers. As Bass lines one up from the corner, swish. Those threes can also set up lanes underneath. And Becker, they have been a tough team on their home floor. As Barrett Parton goes in, she got a lot of starts when Angel Hill was sidelined. Barrett going to Iowa on a soccer scholarship. But another one of those key role players. Durkis misfires on the three, dead ball rebound to Minnehaha. But Ayla Brown, to finish up what I was going to say, she talked about in the postgame interview on Saturday how those three-pointers open up lanes in the inside game for Becker. They've hit 5 threes already and have been difficult to play against on their home floor, with wins against Eden Prairie, Roseville, and Benilde-St. Margaret's. Nuest with the steal. Sine Hill caught up to her and disrupted the play. Allen. Broken up, flips it in. Tried to attack, ball was knocked out of her grasp, but that allowed her to pick it back up for the easy score. Brown from the key. Gets a friendly bounce. And that is her first triple. Allen wants the three. She'll get the three. Parton with the dime. Driving kick, Westin to Durkis. That three did everything but go in. It's looking like whoever can light up those threes will have the edge. Parton wants in on the action. What is going on? Mack gets the steal after the ball was knocked away, and she'll take it all the way for 2. Those threes either are nothing but net or they rattle out, at least as of late. It tells you this much, though. Everyone's hitting their marks on three-pointers. Brown was wide open on the cut, couldn't finish. Addi Mack, look out. You give her a lane, that's what she'll do, slice through it. She has a quick 11. Becker calls timeout, 22-19. They lead by 3, but Addi Mack is on the move. Addi Mack, 8 games with 30 points or more, including 4 straight. A stretch that included wins over the likes of Mare Lutheran and Buffalo. Crossed 2,000 points on January 10th, just about a month ago, against Apple Valley. And Minnehaha upgrading their schedule. They always have a mix of tough teams, but they played Orono, a sleeper team in 6-3-8, Benilde-St. Margaret's, Minnetonka. They won the Hill Murray Holiday Tournament against a rising Lakeville South team. Lost a close one with Goodhue, a team to watch in 2A. Beat Mare Lutheran, one of the top teams in Class A. They took over the number 1 spot after beating Buffalo Lake Hector Stewart earlier this season. Had to pull a comeback against Holy Family Catholic and ran away over Duluth Marshall, a team on the rise again with Chloe Johnson and Reagan Juneman. But where Addi Mack goes, this team follows. And it's not much of a secret. Nuest, touch three. A little to the right. And a foul on Macadans. After Cupido collected the rebound, it was away from the ball, so Minnehaha will back up. Cupido working off the screen. Tried to find Allen, and that didn't work out. Addi Mack taking a quick breather. Not in any sort of foul trouble, but it's hard to play all 36 minutes. Ayla Brown will head to the bench as well. And again, this isn't a statement or an indication of their playing ability. You just can't have the starters out there. Maren Westin drains the mid-range elbow J off the pull-up. I should clarify, you can't leave the starters out there for all 36 minutes. Until you get to the state tournament with those TV timeouts, it can be quite draining on your endurance. And these athletes don't lack it, but even the top players need a moment to collect themselves. Cupido, the spin move. Bounces out. And a foul on the Redhawks, their first of the first half. 8:03 to go.
Red Hawk foul number 15, Ayla Brown. That's her first, team's first.
Two teams with long and storied programs in girls hoops. Becker with 2 state championships, 2007 and 2021. Minnehaha with 2 state championships, 2010 and 2019. Becker doing it in 3A, Minnehaha doing it in 2A. Ayla Brown attacks, count it. Ayla Brown, the Coffee and Odyssey fan, and as she explained on Saturday, Odyssey, an app or a site for children's stories. Also involved in tennis, FCA youth group, part of that breakfast club. And Becker completes the three-point play. So they push their lead back to 8. We mentioned the litany of three-point shooters for Becker. Addi providing a litany of threes in the early going. That's her second three-pointer, but we know she can knock them down with regularity. And she's up to 14. Nuest almost lost it. Was hounded by Parton and Mack. Here comes Angel Hill on the take. Angel, the youngest sister of the Hill clan. PJ, her older brother. Taylor, older sister. Morgan, older sister. Jade, older sister. Taylor, Morgan, and Jade, all Division I athletes. Taylor, of course, playing in the WNBA. And PJ also played professionally for a time before he turned into a career in finance. Angel missing both free throws. But a dead ball rebound to the Redhawks. By the way, Angel's nickname is Bangy. I don't know where that came from. Or Banji, I don't know how you pronounce it. Maybe she can explain it. Quick triangle set. Cupido open for three. Came up short. Macadans winning the scrum for the rebound, and Rubin is take for the foul. And that dose of effort by Macadans is greeted warmly by the Becker fans in attendance. Like we said, this community has rallied around the girls basketball team over the years. Ayla Brown, too strong. McAdams trailed. Parton got the rebound. Slight bump. We play on. Angel Hill thought about it. Under duress. That's an offensive foul. And that will be the third on Rubin. She pushed McAdams out of the way with the elbow. And even though she doesn't score a ton, she's going to have to ride the bench for the final 6:32 of the half with her third foul. And it goes back to the defensive tenacity that Rubin brings. Westin tried the stutter step and is fouled. Lennox had 2 to give.
Red foul number 1, Ayla Brown, her first, team's 5th.
It's on Cupido. Hill steals the inbound pass. Angel Hill, that is. I have to remember there are 2 of them now. And if this is your first Minnehaha broadcast, Angel is the elder aunt. I guess that would make sense. Being a younger aunt would be kind of weird. As she knocks down the front end. Angel is the aunt of Sine. Sine being PJ's daughter, and I mentioned this before. Will always have at least one loss against her niece. As Angel knocks down both free throws. That came when the 2, Angel and Jay, played at Minneapolis South. Sine was at Washburn. Washburn got the win in one of those 2 meetings. Last foul to give for the Redhawks. I don't think there are any hard feelings between the 2.
Back in the game, Redhawks number 13, Allen.
But there are some competitive scrimmages in the Hill household, and what they have done for basketball, both boys and girls. Here's Nuest looking to make an impact, but the impact the Hill family has left us in the sport of basketball has no value. You can't buy it, you can't put a price on it, but you can enjoy the ride, as Angel Hill just did on the take, her first field goal. And it's a 1-point game. Westin looking to change that. Bullseye. Three triples for Westin. She's got 11. Mack slices through. Unable to get the finish there. There's Lauren Kroll, one of the newcomers for the Bulldogs. Came in midway through the season. Hasn't made a huge dent on the stat line, but when Becker was shorthanded with Rose and Westin out for a time, having someone like Kroll can't hurt. Here she is. That would have been good for 2 had it landed. Mack going outlet. Angel Hill. Pursued her own miss. Who's the foul on? It's on McAdams, and that is her third. So the post presence for both teams in foul trouble with 3. And that means they're out of fouls to give. Becker is. Allen. Hounded by Durkis, and Hannah will go to the line for a 1-and-1. We mentioned Becker's litany of three-point shooters that extends to the free throw line, although Hannah Durkis hasn't had the best of times at the charity stripe this season, just shooting 7 of 15. The big three for Becker: Westin, Nuest, and Brown, shooting 75% or better. I thought she was going to the line, but I stand corrected. It was ruled an offensive foul. And in that case, it's a team control, no free throws awarded. Ayla Brown says, who needs free throws when you can get 3-pointers? And she's got 11, 7-point game. Westin collects the miss. Slings it to Brown. Durkis lost control there at Parton. Now brings it up. Angel Hill misfired on the three. Nuest, stop, pop, short, Kraft darts in for the putback. Kraft is another one of those role players. She has been part of the starting five all season, but doesn't score a lot. Just 3.1 a game. That's a big two there to make it 35-26 in favor of Becker, as the #1 team in Class 3A looks to make it 7 straight wins. Minnehaha, they've won 9 in a row. Becker scoring about 70 points per game. That average went up a bit with an 84-point effort over Benilde-St. Margaret's just a couple days ago. Evelyn Kraft, again, doesn't score a lot, but highlighting the value of those role players. You don't always have to drop 30 points to make a difference. Sometimes being in the right place at the right time to get a key second chance bucket can make all the difference. Mack looking for a driving lane, didn't see one. 3:35 to go. Issa Griefenhagen left alone, comes up short on the layup. Those are bunnies you gotta have, especially against a quick-moving team like Becker. And then Westin comes up short. She was under some pressure near the rim. Mack, side fade, gives her just enough space to drop another three-point bomb. She has 17. Westin out to Kraft. Tried to go back to Westin, and it didn't work out. (35-29). That was a big three-pointer by the Redhawks, by the way. Still a long way to go, but you don't want to put yourself in too big of a hole. As we saw on Saturday, foul before the shot. As we saw on Saturday, Becker led by 17, and it takes a lot of energy to work your way back. Ava Cupido to the line. She's the daughter of Brian Cupido, the former Gophers quarterback. Also plays soccer. Averaged 5.3 points per game last year, is about double that this season. But I really feel that her swagger, and Matt Pryor and the others could tell you this, her swagger went up a notch or two with that buzzer beater last year to win bronze. Cupido has yet to get a field goal. But the 8th grader hits both free throws there. Minnehaha off to a solid start from the line. Here's Westin. That's the second time she's tried to drive against contact. And that's the second time Evelyn Kraft has been in the vicinity to help. And Cupido with her second with 2:33 to go. This could be a test of endurance here, as Kraft knocks down the front end. Kraft this season hasn't scored more than 9 in a game. A little surprising. splits at the line. Free throw shooting, not a strength of hers yet. Allen, 3-ball, corner pocket. Cupido with the assist. Amina Allen with her second three-pointer. She's got 8 off the bench. She averages about 10 a game. Nuest, guarded by Allen. Remember, Allen has 2 fouls, and Cupido has 2 fouls. So 2 contributors have to be careful here. They want to avoid that third. Ayla Brown, not worried one bit, goes in for 2. Cupido to Hill, wide open baseline. Westin got in just in time for the block, but nobody there for the follow-through. Angel Hill gets a second chance bucket, and then Becker coughs it up off the inbound. So the Redhawks can tie or take the lead on this possession. A rare ball handling error on the part of Becker. Sine Hill out to Angel. Gonna have to use first names more often when both Hills are on the floor. Mack works around her coverage and pulled off that reverse once against Providence. Couldn't quite pull it off there. Brown with the leaner. Kraft again with another putback. So by my count, Kraft has 5 second chance points and 7 total. Less than a minute, bounce pass, Allen pulls up. Bobbled it initially, that might have disrupted her cadence. Westin stops, pops, 3 in your eye hole. 4 3-pointers for Westin. And she's got 14, 30 seconds. 7-point game. Mack. Late foul called on Kraft. Just her first, but that will send Addi to the line. Addi, known for basketball, she also takes up golf and has done quite well there. Took up interest in the stock market this year. Her father does a lot of accounting work and is helping her learn the ropes of investing. She also likes to swim. One of the fastest to get 1,049 games, and she needed just 91 to reach 2,000. She makes both free throws, and so she's got 19. Becker will hold for the last shot, I presume. 10 seconds. Brown hands it off. Durkis launches. Off the back iron. Redhawks with a little bit of time here. Mack. No. Addi says it's good. The officials say no. She clutched just as she fired. If she doesn't clutch, I think it counts. But from my vantage point, she was just a little late. That clutch cost her a moment. So that's going to be halftime, and unfortunate for Addi, that would have been a huge 3 points for Minnehaha in terms of momentum, but an electric first half nonetheless. 43-38 Becker and their torrent of threes pacing the field again, but Addi Mack, even without that three-pointer, still picked up 19 points. And a lot can happen in the final 18 minutes. We'll take a break and bring you the second half when we return. You're watching high school girls basketball.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
As we get ready for the second half, we should point out that with our broadcast set up, we don't have a way to review video on the spot, so by the time you watch this game, you'll know whether Addi Mack's shot should have counted or not. That doesn't diminish her sensational first half, though. 19 points, doing a lot to keep this Red Hawks team in striking range against another hot three-point shooting performance from Becker. Maren Westin with 14 points, 4 triples. Ayla Brown with 13 points and a couple of threes. Dani Nuest also has a pair of threes. Becker with 8 as a team. Madison Bass also knocked one in. On the Minnehaha side, Addi Mack with 3 triples. Amina Allen with a couple. But no points out of Sine Hill. Didn't get a whole lot of opportunities. And Anaya Rubin limited because of 3 fouls. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. And on the Becker side, Elizabeth McAdams also has 3 fouls. In fact, she is not on the floor to start the second half for Becker. They're putting in Durkis, so Angel Hill ran into a wall. Sine Hill didn't have enough space for the 3. Cupido with the reverse. Wubba, 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 woo, woo, woo. Little razzle-dazzle from the 8th grader. That's a surefire way to get on the highlight reel with your first field goal. Ayla Brown finally gets a leaner. And Brown getting leaner and meaner, at least when it comes to offensive output. If you saw her on Saturday in the postgame, she is anything but mean. Here's Cupido. Actually, there aren't a lot of mean characters here. A lot of friendly faces. Addi Mack gets the Blinko bounce. And that might make up for that missed three-pointer. Or I should say that late three-pointer to end the first half. Officials ruled that she didn't get it off in time. Again, you'll see it on the video one way or the other. Brown with the pump fake and the 14-footer. 47-42. Mack, long 3, is there. You can keep her down, but not out. Dani Nuest with a step back, and it hits the front iron. Here's another chance for the Red Hawks to tie or take the lead. The last time they were in that position, Becker was able to get a couple of quick buckets. Cupido missing another fadeaway. Brown on the take. Comes up strong. Mack wants to go outlet to Sine Hill. She finds her, and Minnehaha has tied it up. Sine Hill with the first field goal. And the timing couldn't be better. So Cupido and Sine, neither of them had field goals in the first half. They changed that here. We'll see what that does as we're tied at 47. Brown under duress. Kraft rejected by Angel Hill. She, well, won't go coast to coast, but she will shoot 2. Angel Hill with 6 points in the first half. Again, missed a lot of time. Injured her hand in the first game of the season and rejoined the team just a week or so ago. So the hope is that Angel will get enough games to rediscover her rhythm. It's a bit like, I watched The Last Dance recently, Michael Jordan, when he was injured and had to miss most of the
85-86 season, came back in the playoffs, had that monstrous game against Boston, but didn't quite have his rhythm, and likewise the 95 season when he came back, foul before the take. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch The Last Dance if you haven't already. Angel Hill missed both free throws. Again, free throw shooting hasn't been one of her strengths, at least in the games I've seen her play, compared to Taylor or Jade. Brown with a shovel pass to Westin. And that's an example of using interior penetration to full effect. Brown could have taken it in herself. Dani Nuest rips the ball away from Cupido and is fouled by Angel Hill. That will be the second. And they will give Dani Nuest the shooting motion.
Red hot foul number 4, Angel Hill, her second of the half. At the line for the move out, 2-2, Dani Nuest.
So Nuest, who has 6 points, will add to it. Dani, another marksman at the free throw line, shooting 80%, and she was clutch against Benilde-St. Margaret's on Saturday. You never know when those points will add up. 51-47. Parton. Didn't see who the ball went off of, but it will stay with Minnehaha. I don't see a huge contingent, but I do see all of the parents. The Hills are on the Becker side, and the rest are on the Minnehaha side. More free throws for Angel Hill. We'll see if she can knock these down. And then I also see Matt Pryor's parents. Angel Hill gets a split that time. She's shooting about 50% for the game. And it's a 3-point game, 51-48. Ayla Brown got ahead of the handle. Angel Hill on the take. You don't see that often either. Ayla Brown just ran ahead of herself, ahead of the ball. And Becker will call a timeout. 14:01 left in the second half. And a 1-point game, 51-50. This is turning into a potential photo finish. Still a long way to go. And a reminder, we only have a couple weeks left of the basketball season, but our coverage of high school sports is 24/7. And if you'd like to support TSP television sports programming, we have 3 ways for you to do so: Patreon, PayPal, and Cash App. Patreon.com/TSP television, PayPal, and Cash App at TSP television. Your coverage, your support makes our coverage possible. And even though our high school season will be wrapping up soon, we'll have a couple of venues, potentially the Triple Threat Girls Basketball Showcase. That takes place around March, and we might have a few more games up our sleeve as we make the transition from winter to spring. It's been a lot of fun, though, and a busy winter. Lots of basketball since late November. So, both teams with 3 timeouts left, and you got to give props to Minnehaha Academy. They have not allowed Becker to open up a sizable lead, and every time it appears that way, Minnehaha is able to strike back. Benilde-St. Margaret's, they had a fight within them too, but again, coming down from 17 is a lot different than 7 or so. So we'll see how things play out. Kroll for three. Yes! And Brown playing distributor here. But once again, Angel Hill converts another fast break play. Addi Mack read the inbound and will shoot free throws. Westin going to Nuest. I think there's a little bit of vexation. From time to time, you'll see this. The best chance to score, the best opportunity is right after your opponent scores. It's a bit like the old game StarCraft. The best time to attack an opposing team's base is when they're attacking yours. And that's what Minnehaha did. So Angel Hill, she's up to 11. And Addi Mack ties it up. Nuest changing speeds. Count it.
Red hot foul number 10, Isa Griffin, number first, team's third.
Dani Nuest. We've shared her story before. Her favorite food is raspberries, and another tennis and youth group FCA participant at Becker. Younger sister of Courtney Nuest. We mentioned some of the recent alumni. Julia Bengtson at Eastern Illinois. Adeline Ken at Tampa. Megan Gamble playing at Concordia St. Paul. A lot of Division I and Division II recruits to come out of the central part of the state. And an offensive foul on Minnehaha. It's on Isa Griffenhagen, her second. And so Becker has a chance to extend their three-point lead. Westin. Lost it. Just fell over. Barton finds Allen. Nowhere to go. Redhawks will reset. Griffenhagen. Blocked by Westin. Stays with it. Unable to get the putback. Bounce pass. Brown for three. Yes! Ayla Brown up to 20. Coming off a season high on Saturday. Rubin will shoot two. Ayla Brown, with that last three, has her 10th 20-point game of the season. Rubin to the line, one of three triplets, the daughter of 1988 Mr. Basketball, Derek Rubin, who played at Minneapolis North. We've shared that story before, but if this is the first time you've seen Minnehaha, I don't mind sharing that story again. Rubin missing the front end. Gets on the board as she splits. But the free throw discrepancy favoring Becker. They are only 5 of 6, but Minnehaha 11 of 18. Angel Hill having some problems at the line, and in a close game, those points can and do add up. .12:07 left in the second half, and that's going to be the third foul on Angel Hill. Nuest to Brown. These two have been teammates for a long time, and that chemistry is evident on three-pointers. Ayla Brown
has 4. She had 5 against Benilde-St. Margaret's. They all came in the first half, and Becker pulling ahead again. They lead by 8, 63-55. Give and go, Ruben to Cupido. Cupido up to 7 with the layup. But Minnehaha is going to need a few stops against this red-hot Becker offense. Nuest, deep 3. Long carom goes to Brown. Kroll. Back to Brown again, Brown and Nuest. Played on the same AAU team. Ayla Brown zips through the lane for 2 more. Mack for 3. Another friendly bounce. We're gonna have a timeout. Addi Mack with 29 points. 65-60, 10:45 to go, but right now, Becker has been able to keep some distance with Minnehaha. The Redhawks have tied it a couple of times, but Becker seems to have a big play up their sleeve for an answer. But look at this, Addi Mack with 29 points. Had it not been for the COVID year, she would have reached 1,000 as an 8th grader the way Madden Greenway and Toy Erline did, but that doesn't diminish what she has accomplished at such a young age. The sophomore said she wanted to be just like Paige Beckers when I first interviewed her at Blake, and I don't know if she'll be the next Paige. I don't like to put those kinds of comparisons on athletes because every player, Taylor Hill, Paige Beckers, Nia Holly, the big names, Andrea Adams comes to mind, Nia Coffey, they all bring something different to the table. But I'll tell you what, Addi Mack, even with that 3 that was erased because it wasn't deemed off before the first half clock expired, and hasn't erased this torrent that she has put up. Addi Mack with 5 3-pointers, 29, closing in on her 9th 30-point game of the season. Again, 4th in the state in scoring, not far behind her conference rival and friendly rival at that, and Madden Greenway. Becker, whoops. Well, play until the whistle, right? That's what Addi was trying to do. It was out of bounds. It went off a Becker bench player, and Addi was going to try to slip one past the officials. Could not, but again, play until the whistle, right? It is a turnover on Becker. And Becker, they have played terrific. Westin and Brown in particular hitting several threes, but they've had a few passing miscues, ball handling errors tonight, a little uncharacteristic. Angel Hill on the spin move, too strong, got her own miss. And she is determined to make it go in. So back to the line she goes again. She's been hit or miss. But more importantly, that is the 4th personal foul on Elizabeth McAdams. And remember, she is one of the interior figures for the Bulldogs, so she won't be available for some time. Angel Hill splits again. Minnehaha Academy 12 of 20. Deep 3 for Dani Nuest. Off the front iron, dead ball rebound to Minnehaha Academy. And depending on who you're rooting for, you either like that call or thought otherwise.
foul away from the ball, and it's going to be on Brown, I believe. That will be the last to give for Becker, regardless of who it's on. And it is on Brown, just her second. Remember, Mack with 4 fouls. Rubin tried to go for the layup, it didn't work out. Brown finds Nuest, back out to Brown, look out. Kraft winning this game, or at least helping Becker out with those hustle plays. 7 points and giving Becker a chance for a second chance play. Maren Westin drills the 3. 5 3-pointers for Westin. Rubin unable to get the answer, and the rebound goes to Becker. Brown to Westin. Driving kick, Nuest. 3-ball from the key. Ten-point lead. Addi Mack. Foul before the shot, but she will go to the line. 8:25 to go. Could this be the dagger run for Becker? And does Minnehaha have an answer? With 8:25 to go. Still plenty of time. But Becker's big 3. Doing splendidly. Brown will take a breather after she picked up her 3rd personal foul. And Addi Mack will pick up her 10th 30-point game this season. Addi Mack, usually money at the free throw line. Nuest, uncontested until the end, but got the layup nonetheless. She has 16. Angel Hill, missing the take. And again, I just think, like the Benilde-St. Margaret's game, we're going to have a tie-up. Becker with the arrow. It's Becker making more of these clutch plays. Minnehaha, they've missed a couple of bunnies that would be really helpful right about now. But there's a reason Minnehaha has scheduled as tough as they have this year. And Becker, here's Dani Nuest, stops, pops, bullseye from the wing. Becker surging ahead. Even Cupido gets the friendly bounce on the runner. But it's an 11-point margin as Becker continues to hit 3s and take names. Westin lost her balance. Dani Nuest bumps, she'll shoot 2. Becker, it's remarkable to think what Becker's record could be had they been fully healthy. They lost to Minnetonka after Alexis Rose went down. They lost to Providence, but they didn't have Alexis Rose or Maren Westin. They got Westin back by the St. Michael Albertville game, but anytime you got to play Tessa Johnson, that's no easy assignment. So the STMA game, maybe they win it at full strength, maybe not, but they got a split against the defending 2A state champions. And they're looking pretty solid here against last year's bronze medalist. Mack, another steal. Oh my goodness! Wubba, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa!
Addi is much stronger than she looks. If you haven't watched her play yet, that last score of hers demonstrates why. Parton out to Allen, curls. Cupido, not there. Allen gets the friendly bounce. And Allen up to 10. 9-point game. And Becker will call a timeout, 6:15 to go in the second half, 78-69. You take one of the state's top scorers against one of the state's top team scorers, I guess we shouldn't be surprised that we're getting a whole lot of points. Becker averaging 70 points per game, 70.5 to be precise. Minnehaha just under 67. Both on lengthy win streaks. And if Becker can get through Minnehaha Academy, they could probably finish the regular season without another blemish. They have dominated the Mississippi 8 and should have no trouble getting out of their section. Minnehaha, this could get interesting. Their section is seeded by QRF in 4-2A. They have the #1 seed and should hang on to it when you look at the teams they're going to play in Como Park twice, Providence, Crosby, Ironton. But Roosevelt not far behind them. They're sitting at 20-2. They're taking care of the games they need to. Now, when you get to the section final, it's at neutral territory anyway. But Roosevelt could play a spoiler. St. Croix Lutheran could be a sleeper as well. Cali Oakland really coming along. We'll see them on Saturday when St. Croix Lutheran hosts Hudson. Nuest out at the high post, finds Westin. Brown comes up short, and Cupido comes up with the steal after Macadance tried to pass it back out. Finds Mack, who's fouled on the reverse. That is not the player you want to send to the line, because Addi Mack has been money. And I haven't seen a ton of the 2A schools compared to 3A, 4A. Well, I've seen a few. But what fascinates me about Minnehaha compared to the rest of the short list of contenders, how much the offense is concentrated around Mack. And that's not to say her teammates are pushovers. Angel Hill and Amina Allen having solid games, but Holy Family, they spread it around between Hall and Land. Providence. That will be a foul, and free throws coming for Becker. Providence, you have Madden Greenway averaging close to 30 a game, but Grace Counts with a double-double. Matt Pryor, not too thrilled about the call, and neither was Ruben. But here's Elizabeth Macadance. Remember, she and Durkis not as prolific from the free throw line. But Macadance knocks down the front end, and Elizabeth with 4 fouls. Ruben now has 4 fouls. Something to keep an eye on here with 5:41 to go. And Macadance, for the moment anyway, shuts my mouth. She was shooting just over 50%. Hits 2 key ones there. As Becker looks to hold off the Redhawks and pick up another high-quality win. They establish themselves as the favorite in Class 3A to win the title after beating Benilde-St. Margaret's. But they know it's not a done deal until you get it. Here's Westin, who will shoot 2, and that is not the player you want to send to the line.
She is shooting 90%. One of the most accurate free throw shooters in the state. But as I was going to say, Becker knows being the favorite doesn't mean the title is yours for the taking. They ran into a hot Totino Grace team last year with Hannah Herzig and Leah Dangerud. Hannah Herzig didn't win the title by herself, but she played a big part in it as the Eagles upset the Bulldogs in last year's 3A state championship. Again, a title in 2021, a couple of silvers in 2019 and 2022. Becker goes back up by 12 as Westin reliably hit those free throws. And you're not going to hit 100, of course, but if you can get 90, that's money. And that's what you can't afford if you're Minnehaha Academy. But you have to think the way Becker has played this season. I was on hand for a couple of those losses. Providence Academy, they were without two big names. St. Michael Abbeville, they just couldn't keep up. STMA, they have no shortage of three-point shooters. Mack, not going to give up, though. Gets the ball from Kroll. And that has been the story of this game. Minnehaha, as Westin fired the three that would have sealed it most likely. Minnehaha just having a tough time getting those short-range looks to drop when they need them most. Nuest for three, bullseye. Matt Pryor will call a timeout, but I think Becker is closing in on a 7th straight win. And what a resume this would be. Becker has wins over Eden Prairie and Roseville in 4A, Benilde-St. Margaret's on Saturday. And if they can hold on, they will pick up wins over the top two teams from the IMAC, who both won medals at last year's state tournament. Of course, one year to the next is never the same thing, but Becker blitzing the competition. And that has been their mantra. They're not afraid of a challenge. 85 points here. That matches a season high when they scored 85 in the season opener against Princeton. Now, Princeton not quite at Becker's level. But go figure, Becker, it had been a while since they reached the 80-point mark in a game. Now, in conference competition, you're not going to run up the score when you have the win in hand. But the last time they got 80 before these last couple of games was against Chisago Lakes, January 12th. They had 84 against Benilde-St. Margaret's and 85 here against Minnehaha Academy, and we still have 4:03 to go. Addi Mack this time finishes the drive, and that matches her high for the season, 36. And that will be the 4th foul on Angel Hill. I don't think Becker's going to have to break the century mark, but we have been fortunate to highlight offensive milestones here at Becker. 4 years ago, we came up here President's Day weekend. Becker scored 100 points for the first time ever in a win over Como Park. That signaled their emergence as a 3A perennial. And now they're going to drop a high amount. This is their season high. Westin splits. 14-point margin. Minnehaha would need a few things to go their way and quick to get themselves back in it. And Becker not content to let that happen. The three-point shooting, though, it's not just one you got to worry about. It's everybody. And that is where Becker can make their move against so many teams.
I think now the Redhawks are trying to draw a foul. Becker looks to play a little more keep away now with a 14-point lead and 3:01 to go. They're going to wait for the foul here, I presume. Minnehaha does force the tie-up, and they hold the possession arrow with 2:58 left.
Back in the game, the Redhawks, number 0, Derek Hartley.
Dani Nuest wasn't able to get involved as she would like to be against Benilde-St. Margaret's, as Ayla Brown dropped 32, Maren Westin at 25 points, 9 rebounds. I think she'll be much more pleased with their output tonight. Addi Mack missing the 3. Minnehaha tied but never took the lead, and likewise with Benilde-St. Margaret's. Teams can get close, but passing them is proving to be a whole nother case entirely. Angel Hill read the pass. And Matt Pryor will use his final timeout. And whatever happens here for Minnehaha Academy, they are a favorite to get out of the section again. The Redhawks don't have Roosevelt or St. Croix Lutheran on the schedule. St. Croix Lutheran had a hard time hanging with them last year, but again, Minnehaha going through some changes in the roster. They've done a lot of retooling over the years and not afraid to embrace the youth movement with a pair of 8th graders. But Angel Hill, if she can get settled in and she'll have a few more games to do it, Minnehaha Academy should be ready for another section battle, which could prove to be a tough one when you look at how tight the top 3 are in QRF. And on the Becker side, Westin missed a few games to have a knee procedure done, but doesn't look sluggish at all. A marvelous weekend, a momentous weekend. And Becker's big 3 all crossing the 20-point mark. Dani Nuest a couple points away from matching her season high. But 2:23 left. Minnehaha not out of this yet. And Matt Pryor's going to have to get the ball as it rolled its way out of the gym, never to be seen again. But Angel and Sine on the coverage there. Like we said, Addi and Minnehaha, you're not going to give up, and you can't. Because even if you don't get the win, you can learn a lot of valuable information that can help you win the big prize in postseason play. Addi Mack, maybe fatigue starting to set in a bit. Maren Westin with an emphatic rejection on Mack. Don't let her frame fool you. Westin has some reach at 5'8". Rubin through the hole and in. That's her first field goal, 10-point margin. Becker fans saying start the buses. As we said, though, Minnehaha, they're not going to quit. And if you're a high-caliber team, a perennial, you can't. Even if you don't get the win. You never know who's watching, whether it's coaches, scouts, or both. Dani Nuest continuing her free throw marksmanship. Matches a season high. And Becker, 14 of 16. Minnehaha Academy, 15 of 24. Addi Mack slices through. I guess she isn't as tired as I thought Well, she's a bona fide athlete. Who am I kidding? She can play all 36. Addi Mack with the season high. And that will be it for Anaya Rubin. She fouls out of the game with 3 points. Minnehaha will get the first of 2 meetings with Como Park tomorrow. Given Como Park's roster this year, that should be a winnable game for them. The second meeting, that could get interesting though. Like they said, it's often harder to beat a team a second time. Becker in the double bonus here. Evelyn Kreft had 7 first half points, played a big part in second chance plays. Hasn't been as active here. She misses both free throws. A score would be helpful for the Redhawks. Angel Hill gives them that. Now the Redhawks are out of timeouts. So they're gonna have to foul or get a stop. And extend this game just under a minute. Sine Hill picks up her second. Angel Hill, even though she hasn't played a lot of games, has a new season high. And Dani Nuest to shoot 2. As we noted earlier, she and Ayla Brown have tons of camaraderie playing together for the Comets AAU program and in the navy blue and Columbia blue of Becker. She splits at the line though. Addi Mack, through traffic, draws the foul. And as we were saying, this is why you keep playing until the clock reads 0, even if it's not enough to get the win. What this is doing for the Redhawks is showing their resiliency. And we've seen a lot of that this year, even in runaway games, where the top teams don't fold up and say forget about it. Addi Mack now has 40 points, by the way. Her first 40-point game this season. Redhawks trying to bring more pressure, can't quite do it. They're gonna have to foul again. And Ayla Brown, who is shooting 75%, will look to extend the margin, extend the lead here. Becker, this is a little unusual. They're struggling as of late at the free throw line. They've missed a few. Brown does make the back end. 8-point game. Addi Mack finds Cupido for 3. Yes! But again, no timeouts for Minnehaha, so they've got to get a stop or a foul quick. Barrett Parton, not thrilled with the call. It reminds me of last night's big game when Philadelphia was hit with a defensive holding call. They did admit it was holding. It wasn't much, but one of those you got to call it, even if it doesn't look like a lot. I don't know there. Westin missing the front end. Missing both. Angel Hill going ISO there. I don't know if that's what you wanted. Becker will call a timeout. They had a couple left. Matt Pryor, not thrilled over the sequence of events 11.7 left, so Becker still hanging on. Again, going up by 14 late. It's really difficult to come back. And on that last play, you got to score. Angel Hill tried to go for it, but a contested jumper, I think. It's, of course, easy for me to say, but in hindsight, maybe you go back and, well, Ray Lynn's enjoying our little throwback to the 80s. And the Karate Kid, that's where I think this song was first popularized. In any event, Becker hoping to hang on and wax on their 7th straight win and their 19th of the season. But Minnehaha Academy has not made it easy for them. There's a foul before the inbound. Now that's going to be free throws for Becker. You got to admire the fight, the grit, and the toughness from Minnehaha Academy, trying to work their way back even though a win seemed out of reach. That could prove insightful over these final couple of weeks. Crosby Ironton, a team on the rise. Providence Academy, that's going to be a big game Friday. It always is. And you know Minnehaha would love a chance to get the split and open the door in Class 2A. I am a little perplexed at the free throw misses here from Becker as of late. Brown splits again. Becker, by the way, with the first 90-point game of the season. Here's Mack. Lines up the step back three and connects, but I don't think there's going to be enough time. Becker, they know it. There was less than 5 seconds left. So all Becker had to do was hold on to the ball. The clock doesn't stop. A heads-up clock management play allows Becker to hold on. 91-88, Minnehaha fought until the end, and that will prove useful in the final 2 weeks of the season. Addi Mack, 43 points. What a performance. And the big three from Becker. They won't like those misses at the free throw line late, but they got it done, and that's what counts. We'll try to bring them up here for a post-game chat. You're watching high school girls basketball. Becker beats Minnehaha Academy 91-88 for their 7th straight win.
I'm joined by the Becker Big Three, Ayla Brown, Maren Westin, and Dani Nuest. Ayla and Maren, it feels like we just saw each other a couple days ago. Oh, wait, we did. Well, you showed up again in a big way. More three-point shooting, and even though the free throws were coming up a little short at the end, you did enough to hang on for a 91-88 win. You go up by 14, Minnehaha gives you one last push, and you had to sweat this one out. What does that do for your endurance, your stamina, when you have to grind out a win like this?
I would say just mentally, it just keeps us, we just have to stay engaged the whole time, and I feel like that's a big factor.
And Ayla, you now have 10 20-point games this season, coming off the season high on Saturday, 27 tonight. And Becker, they've never relied on just one person to do all the scoring, but you've stepped up in these big games now. Where do you find that leadership?
I would just say also like in my coaches and in my teammates and these guys for pushing me, and yeah, I wouldn't get the shots I get if it wasn't for them, so.
And you probably get some help from that coffee and Odyssey, don't you?
That's right, I do. Yep.
Well, Maren, you had 22 points tonight, and you had that big block. I know Minnehaha scored on that later possession, but you highlighted your toughness all around, and I think you played a big role Saturday. You played a big role tonight. Becker and that three-point stroke of theirs, anytime it's going, they can do big things. How crucial was that tonight?
It was good. I think we relied on each other really well, and we were focused, and we were just mentally prepared for this game.
And I don't know if you heard the reaction when you got that block on Addi Mack, but the Becker student section certainly approved. How does that energize you when you can get a big stop against a top player, a top opponent?
Yeah, it's fun. I think the energy in our crowd brings a lot to us, and it's just fun to have a lot of people here.
Now, Dani, I know you didn't have the most active role on Saturday. You weren't able to hit a three-pointer, and I think the tone, even though it was a nail-biter, I feel like you set the tone early when you hit your first couple of threes. And I think as a perimeter shooter, the law of averages will mean some days are great, some not so great. But to come off a rough game against Benilde-St. Margaret's and to see those threes drop tonight as you get a new season-high 27, how do you think that helped your confidence against Minnehaha Academy?
I would say tonight helped it a lot, but it just helps me have a lot of confidence with teammates that encourage me when I'm missing a lot. And we get a lot of reps between open gyms and practices, so when I'm missing, I can keep shooting and know the next ones will go in.
So after a couple of big wins here, I imagine Becker will be the #1 team in the polls. You'll probably be the favorite. Of course, polls are one thing, the state tournament is another if you get there, but where do you feel Becker is sitting at 19-3, and you now have wins against the top two teams from the IMAC, two 4A teams, Benilde-St. Margaret's? That's a pretty impressive resume.
Yeah, I think we're honestly at a great spot. We play well together. It's such a fun team off and on the court. So honestly, we have so much fun together that we want to get better together every day. So I feel like having a couple weeks going to a state tournament, we're in a good spot, ready to keep going and, roll.
And speak of that togetherness, because you and Ayla, you've played together for years on the Comets and on Becker, and then Maren, you had that brief stint with North Tartan but came back to the Comets. But all three of you, you've known each other for a long time. You've been a part of this team for a long time. How do you think that shows in a game like tonight? I saw you and Ayla hook up quite a bit, and Marty was right behind you.
We play together so well, and we're at such a good spot in our friendship and on the court too as teammates that we can just talk to each other in a way that encourages each other, but also construct each other to just most benefit our team. And we all want to get better and play.
And what do you two have to say about the chemistry and camaraderie?
Our team is honestly just so fun, and we all genuinely just enjoy being together. And that, you can just see it on the court too. No one's getting we don't get upset at each other. We just like Dani said, constructive criticism. We just know each other well, and that's so helpful and for our team chemistry.
Yeah, we want to have fun, and we love to see each other succeed, which is really important, encouraging each other and constructive criticism, like they said.
Now, I talked to the two of you about coffee and Odyssey. Dani, I understand your favorite food is raspberries.
It is, yes.
Do you have any raspberry recipes that you like, or do you just like the fruit itself?
Just the fruit, but I also love coffee and Odyssey.
Oh, wow. So we've got a little Coffee Odyssey club here. Well, I'll tell you what, Dani, raspberries go great with yogurt parfaits, smoothies, I think. So if you're looking to change things up, yeah. All right, so anyone out there that has raspberry recipes, hit up Dani, and then, I don't know, I guess after the season you'll probably, meet up for raspberries and tiramisu, something like that?
Yeah, yum.
Before we go, you want to say hi to anybody?
Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad.
The old basketball girls that have already graduated. Shout out to them.
Well, and there are plenty of them. Playing college ball. I saw one of them earlier this year. I know Julia's doing big things. Megan, everybody, you're part of this Becker Breakfast Club. Well, enjoy the victory. I know you've got some Mississippi 8 games left, and enjoy the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That's Ayla Brown, Maren Westin, and Dani Nuest from Becker, and that wraps up our coverage from Becker. For the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Beaton. Thanks for watching.